president coming back to Washington. It sets up the meeting that he's supposed to have this week with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
And this meeting was originally set for today, but has since been pushed back, possibly for Thursday. But in the meantime, Netanyahu is already here in the district, and that's impacting traffic for those who live and work here. Road closures and parking restrictions still in place around the Watergate Hotel. And that's where we find our Jess Arnold this morning. And Jess, we know that there were protests there last night. So how does that look now compared to yesterday?
Yeah, well, we're not seeing any protests build out here right now. Of course, you can still see the road closures behind me. We see maybe a little bit more security than we saw out here last night as they continue to monitor the area around Watergate here. And when it comes to Prime Minister Netanyahu's address, it is historic. It's the first time that a world leader has addressed Congress 4 times. So this is a big week coming off of a big weekend here in D.C. Now, Vice President Kamala Harris is reportedly not going to be at that address because of a previously scheduled event, but she is slated to meet with him at some point this week. And as you mentioned, President Biden is also supposed to have a private meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu probably on Thursday, we are seeing. Now, the vice president has been more critical of Netanyahu than President Biden has about his tactics during the war, which was costing Biden some voters as he had been seeking re-election. But now that Harris is vying for the nomination, as you said, she seems to have become the presumptive nominee there. All eyes are on what stance she takes moving forward and how that will impact her support. Now, multiple protests are scheduled for today and tomorrow over the war in Gaza. The Hostages and Missing Families Forum is hosting one of them outside of the Capitol tonight, where there will be a display reminding the public that Hamas has held their family members captive for 9 months and calling for an immediate hostage release deal. Now, there have been talks of a ceasefire that would release 100 Israeli hostages, but Netanyahu has been pushing for harder demands against Hamas, so that is not finalized as of yet. Meanwhile, the Gaza Health Ministry says that more than 39,000 Palestinians have been killed during Israel's assault. Now, last night we saw about 100 protesters calling for an end to the war outside of Watergate here.
Our goal is to make sure that he knows that we are out here. The people in Palestine have not given up. The people in the diaspora have not given up.
Now, most of these scheduled protests are centering around Capitol Hill as well as the mall. And when it comes to these road closures, we're starting to see traffic build up here this morning. So make sure you leave extra time. We have a list of all those road closures for you on WUSA9.com. Wisdom.
All right, Jess Arnold reporting. 6:37 is the time right now.